All right, welcome everyone to the Study Abroad in Japan info session. My name is Andres. I'm the coordinator or the study abroad coordinator here at Green River College, and I'm also the Japan lead for WIXA or our consortium. Before I introduce some of the folks that are going to be helping you throughout this experience, I wanted to say that this program is possible thanks to a partnership that we have in Washington State that is called WIXA, Washington State Community College Consortium for Study Abroad. And that basically means we have like 17 community colleges that get together, that share resources, that share programs. And that's how we are able to offer at least one or two opportunities each quarter to the students that belong to those campuses. So that's why we have tons of representation here. You see in the chat people from all over Washington State, and that's what we love to see. All right. So I wanted to introduce you to some of the folks that are here today. First of all, my colleague Michio. Um, if you want to introduce yourselves.
はい、皆さん、こんにちは. My name is Michi. I'm a new staff helping out Andres at the international programs. So I'm from Japan. If you have any questions in the future, please reach out to me anytime. I'm at the ID, ID, IDA, ID. So I'm still have to
IBD building, but that's
ID building, yeah, across from Andres. So yeah,
yeah.
thank you
That
very
of
much.
course that only
Yeah,
applies for Green River students.
yeah, Green River students. But
And
yeah,
and
if
then
anybody have questions, send me an email.
of course,
Yeah,
thank you, Michi.
yeah.
We also are here joined by the faculty lead of the Japan program, Todd. If you want to introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Todd Johnson, and I'm the newly appointed faculty lead for the study abroad in Japan. And I'm very excited about this position, and I'm looking forward to working with some of you and helping you meet your goals. I'm also very excited about the classes that I'll be teaching in Japan. Just very, very briefly, my interest in Japan started when I was in elementary school. I had a pen pal from Japan, a pen pal from Okinawa, and that interest has built ever since that time. And again, I forward to working with some of you and sharing experiences in Japan.
Awesome. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, he has tons of experience here at Green River College and teaching and abroad, so he's definitely a great asset to this program. We'd also have a couple coordinators, or maybe I only see one. Let me see. Let me see. From Spokane, Caroline, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Carolyn Gipple from Spokane Colleges. I see a bunch of Spokane Falls people in here. I don't know if I see any Spokane Community Colleges in here. I'm the WIXA coordinator for both our campuses. I'm currently the team lead for Berlin, so we're having that going in the spring quarter, but I'm excited for this Japan program because it's always a hit. So I'm very excited to hear more about it, and hopefully all of you get to go.
So thank you, Caroline. I hope I didn't miss any other coordinators. So I don't think I did, but okay, let's move on. If you're unsure of like who your coordinator is, my colleague Mitch is gonna put a link in the chat so you can know exactly who it is. Uh, and then you can reach out to them as well. All right, so let's start this presentation. A little intro about Japan or a little history is that, well, this program has been running since 2009, every single fall quarter, right? Except for COVID, of course. For the longest time, it was based in Tokyo, but recently we changed it to Miyazaki City, which is a really fun destination. You'll hear all about it in a second. And we found out that, it's a great location for students because it's a little less touristy, a lot more quiet. So it's a great experience regardless. So that's a little bit of intro history for you. And yeah, let's go. So the location, Miyazaki City, it's located in the southeastern portion of Japan, or the Kyushu Island. It's right in the coastline, so it's really nicely located. If you don't mind me saying, is the capital city of the Miyazaki Prefecture, and this place is really nice. It's really known for like a really nicer weather. Like it's a little bit warmer than some other areas in Japan. It's located right in the coastline, so it has beautiful beaches and really nice areas that you can explore if you're a nature lover. Um, our host, or the universities, our partners in this program, is Miyazaki Municipal University. They're a small university, centrally located, and it's about 1,000 students there, so it's very small, basically. But they are excellent supporters of our students. They take care of our students so much, and that's the reason why we chose them as our partner in Japan. If you're interested in knowing like a little bit about the weather, at the time this program runs is September, October, November, and then as the months progress, it gets a little bit colder. It tends to be a little bit humid, so you need to prepare for that. Also, it can get nippy a little bit or cold, so basically you have to bring your jacket, your shorts, to be prepared for every type of weather. But yeah, it's a really nice area. All right, let's move on. So these are the program dates that are set out for 2026. So the program is going, like I mentioned, is going to run in the fall quarter. It's a 10-week program. And actually, you'll be arriving in Miyazaki on September 24, which means that students travel from SeaTac in September 22nd or 23rd, depending on the itinerary that we developed for you. But yeah, those are the official dates, so you can count on those dates. Yeah, this program is very particular because we gotta include like also the Tokyo experience, right? So we actually have 2 trips that you're gonna take while you are being in Japan, right? One is 4-night academic excursion to Tokyo, so like the capital of Japan, this international hub for shopping, dining, and entertainment. And of course, if you love anime, manga, and gaming, that's the place to be, right? Um, Me personally, I grew up with Pokemon when I was a kid, so I still love that, and I like that. Nowadays, like the card game is like really strong, and the collectors are out there, and I love that. I love to see that. Anyways, so yeah, a 4-night academic excursion to Tokyo, and then also a 3-night academic excursion to Osaka. Osaka is like the third largest city in Japan, and also it's really known for its history. It has like such some cool places to visit, and they're like, modern and also historical. And then I've heard they have like amazing like street food and vendors, and they're, really cool landmarks like the Osaka Castle. So yeah, so right around the week 6 of the program, you'll basically take a trip, taking a plane from Miyazaki to Tokyo. You spend your time in Tokyo, then you take the Shinkansen train all the way down to Osaka, which is, that's cool. Those bullet trains, that's an experience right there. And then you stay 3 nights, and after that, you come back to Miyazaki and finish your program in Miyazaki. This program has multiple day trips and also excursions and activities that are part of your classes that we're going to talk about it in a little bit. All right. So let's talk about the campus. So right here, actually, you can see the entire campus in Miyazaki. This is the Miyazaki city. You see like over there, like you can see actually the sea. But yeah, right here is basically like an L shape. So it's like all of this, that's the university. Um, I guess the main area right here is the quad area, that is what it's called. And this is where a lot of students hang out. And also the university also does like festivals and promotes activities, and they mainly do it into this quad area. This building is where you're likely gonna have your classes. It's a 6 stories high building and it's filled with classrooms. It has labs, it has libraries, so everything you need to have for your classes. And then this building right here is your cafeteria. I can show you more pictures in a little bit, but yeah, this is a really nice place to shop like for some meals and snacks. And then in the second floor, you actually have some, there is a health center. So if you're not feeling well, you can actually go there and there'll be like nurses that can help you out. And then we have some other buildings, administrative buildings. We have tennis courts. You have different clubhouses in this area, and then there is an auditorium and a gymnasium. So yeah, it's like a pretty complete university. But as mentioned, it's a smaller university from what you probably are used to here in the States. But it's, yeah, like I said, great support from the staff. Mhm. This is another, I guess, a picture of the University of the Quad area for your reference. All right, and this is how your classrooms look like. They have like a combination of traditional classroom, but also very modern. So you see like this, traditional chalkboards and older desks, but also they have like video capabilities and all the technology that you should expect in Japan, of course. So yeah, it's very interesting, very new for our students. Computer labs that you can use in your free time or to do your assignments. But also most of our students bring their own laptops, which is, what is typical. There are places where students hang out, like the intercultural student lounge. So all the international students are there. There are some international students there, but from other parts of Asia that you can go and meet. But mostly it's all Japanese university, I would say. This is what the library looks like. There it's actually surprising they have many, many English books. So if you like reading, different stories, they have also have like a great collection of manga, so you can check out as well. And yeah, this library, I don't know, probably for the Green River folks that are here, it looks so similar from our library here and like a similar setup, but yeah, it's a great resource for our students as well. Um, the building that I told you about the cafeteria, this is what it looks like. And then at the back of it, they have like this lounge and vending small shop where you can get your snacks. As you know, your US dollar goes very long, in Japan. So you have like really wonderful meals and snacks for a fraction of the price. And yeah, lots of our students go and grab a quick breakfast and then go to their classes. And yeah, it's really affordable. And this is the health center that I was telling you about in the second floor. All right, so housing. So you'll live actually in apartments that are 1 block away from campus. And actually, I'm gonna go back to this picture. If you see right here, this building, that's actually the apartments that you'll be staying at. So it's really close from where you need to be. Like I say, it's really centrally located. So that's very convenient for your students. And this is what they look like on the outside. Um, as you know, you'll have a faculty leader that goes with you. He has an apartment as well there, like in the same area. But our apartments are shared, so you'll share apartments with 2 other students. So you'll be 3 students per apartment. Okay. This is what they look like in the inside, and this is where the big adjustment begins, right? They have traditional tatami mats, which is an adjustment for lots of our students, and we're aware of that. And we actually have really good news from our Miyazaki's staff. They said that they're going to upgrade those so you have like more padding and more comfort. But still, you'll be sleeping in a tatami mat, so that's like a new experience in itself. And of course, apartments in Japan are a lot smaller from the spaces that you're used to here in the States. So that's a big FYI. But they have everything you need to have for your student experience. So you have AC in the rooms, you have, the kitchen that has all the cooking utensils for you to make meals with your roommates. It has, the fridge, microwave, rice cooker, more AC. So it's like everything you need to know is there. So you don't need to worry about that. Obviously, there is no dryer. So what Japanese people and actually lots of people around the world do is they hang it in the balconies or like their clothes. So you'll have to do that as well. There are 2 bedrooms, and then there are 3 people that are gonna be in each apartment, as I mentioned. So you'll have to likely have that conversation with your roommate to be like, okay, who's gonna share room, who's gonna be in the extra room, and maybe do like a rotating system or come up with an arrangement. That's totally up to the roommates. Anyways, more pictures about the apartment. This is what the living room looks like. Of course, there's limited storage space. So I have seen that the students actually use part of the living room to store some of their stuff. But yeah, there's plenty of space over there. This is the bathroom, the second and the third picture. And it's actually quite nice because all the elements of the bathroom are separate. So you have the sink and the washer in one little room, right? You have your shower in another one, and then you have your toilet in another one. So that's sort of ideal for like a roommate setting. But yeah, this is what they look like. And then now we're moving on into the classes. So before I give the mic to my colleague, Todd, I'm going to talk about the Japanese language class. So as you know, is one of the classes offered in this program, and is actually taught by Miyazaki Municipal University instructors. If you never taken Japanese language before, there is no issue with that. You can start at the very beginning class. But if I know some of you might have already taken some Japanese college classes or maybe high school classes, right? So if that's your case, there are also like different levels that you can get placed, right? The only, I guess, requirement is for those students that never seen or never taken any Japanese class, they need to learn the katakana and hiragana alphabet before they depart. So that's the only requirement. And I heard that, students do it over the summer, extremely easy to learn those alphabets. So yeah, generally there is no issue with that, but just letting you know for those who never taken Japanese language before. And now I'm going to turn over the mic to instructor Todd Johnson, who's going to talk about the 2 other classes offers in this program.
Thank you, Andres. I am primarily an English teacher and have been for many years at Green River, and have taught a variety of courses. But for the offerings for the study abroad program in Japan, I'm really excited to be teaching creative writing. Creative writing will be a 200 level class. It's 236, and the focus will be on nonfiction and using a variety of Japanese cultural experiences and Japanese writing structures. the expectation is that you would start out with a community profile. And in order for you to write a profile, the expectation is that you're participating in a particular community in Japan, in Miyazaki. Luckily, there are many clubs that are associated with the university. And also, there are many organizations near the university as well. Hopefully, most of you are bringing some sort of interest in a Japanese activity or community with you to this program. Some of you may have studied karate. Some of you may be interested in taiko drumming. Some of you may have any number of interests, including an interest in manga and anime. Whatever that may be, you'll have a chance to immerse yourself in the community and then write about it. We follow that with a very different sort of nonfiction, that is to write about a work of art. So you'll be required to find a work of art either in a public space or online, and you'll have the opportunity to use the trips to Tokyo and Osaka to discover that art. And then in order to write about it well, you'll have several choices. You can immerse yourself in that art. You can write to the artist, or you could do some sort of analysis. And finally, in the creative writing course, the culminating project is an argument, but it won't be the kind of argument that you're used to. It'll be an argument in which no conflict is involved, and it will be about experience and feelings. You'll be using those to persuade your audience. So that's the creative writing class. Again, it's a 200 level. And I hope that triggers some excitement for you as much as it does for me. The second course is writing in the humanities, and it is a 100 level course. It's 126. And the emphasis here will be on the human experience in Japan, according to several genres of Japanese literature. And that'll be Japanese literature in translation to English, by the way. So we'll start out with a focus on manga. And I'm hoping most of you already have an interest, if not an obsession, with manga. I know it's very, very popular, and many of you will probably have much to inform me about. We'll move on to a focus on two types of Japanese poetry. One is haiku, which I think many of you are familiar with. And the other is a sort of hybrid form, and it's called haibun. And what that does is combines prose with verse. So you would write a long paragraph of context about a particular experience, and you would then highlight that with a haiku, which is what many famous writers in Japan have done, and we'll be studying and analyzing that. And finally, we'll finish with several segments of a variety of Japanese novels, and you'll have your choice on the reading of a novel that is of your interest. So It's going to cover a wide range of genres, as I said. This will also be from a wide range of eras, time periods, and it will include similar writing structure and concepts from the creative writing course. So will really they will really complement each other. And I'm equally as excited about the humanities course and about teaching all of those who will be interested. That's all I have in terms of introduction. I don't know if any of you may have a quick question that you would like to ask, and you could do so in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad, for your presentation. Your classes seem very exciting, and I wish I could go with the students and take them.
Of course, as I say, I hope it's equally as exciting for the folks who have joined today.
Yeah, I'm sure they feel the same as me. All right, moving on. Moving on to some of the activities and excursions that you'll be doing in Miyazaki. So what I love about like some of these activities is that, you have plenty of opportunity to engage with the locals. And that's one of the things that we heavily promote in study abroad, right? Especially if you're trying to learn the language, that's the perfect way to do it, right? To engage with others and have that exchange. So, for example, in your program schedule, you have one weekend, an entire weekend, that you actually do a homestay program with local families, local Japanese families, and they'll take care of you. They'll, show you their culture, their house. They'll feed you. They'll bring you into their home, basically, and that's a perfect way of, knowing that piece of culture, through people that live it, right? And I'm sure they want to do like, they want to know a lot about you and Washington State and what you do and your culture as well. So that's like the exchange that we're looking for in some of these activities. For example, there is also a high school exchange activities where the school brings different students from local high school, and then there are similar activities, right? There are presentations about culture, about the states, about Japan, about the food, about things that you're passionate about. And it's really fun. I mentioned the student promotes festivals and university festivals. They have one in October, at the end of October, called Rion Sai. I hope I pronounced that well, Michi. If not, you can help me with the right pronunciation. Um,
両雲祭
Yonsai. Okay.
両雲祭
Rionsai. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. See, yeah, so they have this big festival in the school, and actually our students are expected to participate in this festival. So if you, I don't know, if you have an interest in arts, or are you or if you are a performer, or if you are in a band, you can participate in so many different ways in that festival. We actually had past students that, were part of the local band, like the school band, and they played with them. We had one student who was sort of like a rock star one time, and then he participated by doing, a presentation, a performance, if you will, right? So those are sort of the activities that I'm most excited about because of that exchange that you have with the local students and the community. But also, as part of your Japanese class, you'll have some activities that are more cultural, right? So, for example, you have a sado tea ceremony, right? A traditional Japanese tea ceremony with a traditional garments, Japanese garments or kimonos, right? So you'll do the whole ordeal, and it's really fun. You'll get to experience like a karate class. There is also a taiko drum lesson that you take, and yeah, those like I said are part of your Japanese class experience and are designed for you to learn a little bit more about the local culture, right? Or the Japanese culture. And then for nature lovers, we have many opportunities for you as well. We have, they have a marine activity, so they do like a bodyboarding class right there in the beach, in the Aoshima beach, which is a really stunning place. They also take you to Tahashiho, which they have like a really nice ecological park, and then you get to stay there actually for 2 nights and experience different places in the area. And then, yeah, many more opportunities. They also have a buddy program where local Miyazaki Municipal University students take you to different locations in Miyazaki, so you have a place to shop, have a place to maybe go to do a karaoke or the hot spots on food, right? So that's really nice because they show you around and kind of help you navigate life in Miyazaki. So yeah, these activities you can expect all of these activities to be included in the program this year. All right, so here are some pictures for your reference. And yeah, this is the tea ceremony. This is one of the local shrines, like a visit. This is right here, I think is the one of the clubs that was doing a presentation and trying to get them to join. Here's traditional kimono ceremony as well. And since Miyazaki is such a small town, right, compared from what you're used to here, right? The students or this particular Wixa cohort, they really stand out. So you'll definitely be like the rock stars, right, of the place. And a lot of people will approach you. A lot of people will want to get to know you. And if you don't believe me, there is an actual um local newspaper that actually features some of our students, and actually in this paper they explain about like what they're doing. So I'm not kidding when I'm saying you're like rock stars in that city. So everyone wants to get to know you and everyone wants to say hi to you at the very least. So yeah, we have more pictures here. Some of the things that I was mentioning, the taiko drum ceremony, the homestay experience, local shrines. This is Japanese calligraphy as well, like a class. Uh, Traditional, I think this was like a samurai experience and also like a, kimono experience as well. Karate and yeah, and more. All right. So for activities and excursions in Tokyo and Osaka, these ones that you see here, they are subject to change because we're currently working with your professor Todd with some of the activities that we'll be doing in Tokyo and Osaka. But this is a reference for you. This is what our students last year did. So you may expect some of these activities to repeat, right? So in Tokyo, um, probably, of course, you gotta go to the touristy places, right? So Shibuya Scramble, Shinjuku. I'm not sure if I'm butchering this, Michi. You can help me with pronunciation. Uh,
Yeah.
um,
Shinjuku, Harajuku, Shibuya
yeah,
Scramble, Team Lab
yeah.
Planets, Akihabara, Museum of
Akihabara.
Akihabara. Akihabara is an electric town, and they have lots of like, games and um, you know, maiden cafe, which is kind of interesting culture there. Yeah, Team Lab is
Awesome.
very good place to go.
Yeah, Team Labs is a digital art museum.
Mhm.
So we're contemplating of going, back again this year as well. One of the most internationally known digital art museums in the world. So it's
Yeah,
very exciting.
Meiji
So
Jingu is also good, and yeah, lots of cultural stuff in Tokyo too.
yeah. So like I said, you may expect some of these activities that will be included, and then we'll update you once we have like a more like a plan that is for our TOTS classes and also for these two locations, right? And then Osaka, like I mentioned, you take the Shinkansen train from Tokyo to Osaka, and then you'll get to experience some of this as well. I would say Nara Park is a must-do. Osaka Castle, we're definitely going to include, and then the local temples that you can visit as well. Um, yeah, so these are, like I said, TBD, but expect that most of these activities will repeat themselves this year as well. And then we got some photos of our students in these locations. This is from Teen Lab Planets. This is a really nice picture. This is in one of the shrines in Tokyo. This is Shibuya Scramble, that famous street that, you know, is always in movies and everyone goes and walks different directions. Local temples. This Universal Tokyo is not actually part of the what we offer in this program, but there is lots of times for you to explore, and I've seen that a lot of students actually go to this place, to Universal Tokyo. So I decided to include one of the pictures there because that's something that you could potentially do. Yeah, this is you know, the park. I think it's Nara Park, where they have like many deer walking around, and you get to interact with them in a safe way. And yeah, many more places to visit. All right. I'm gonna stop here and see in the chat if we have any questions so far, but I think I answered the only one that I've seen. But anyways, if you have any questions right at the end, we'll have like a little time, so a Q&A, so you can you know, get those answers that you're looking for. All right, so the program fee, or the cost of this program. So there are a couple things that you need to take care of, basically, to budget for this trip, right? There are two main ones. One is the program fee. The program fee for this Japan experience is $8,000 for this year. What is included in this fee includes airfare, not only the airfare from SeaTac, or Seattle Tacoma International Airport, to Miyazaki City, but also those trips that are for Tokyo and Osaka, and the Shinkansen train as well. So that includes those, includes your housing for 10 weeks in that apartment that I just showed you, includes the medical insurance that you'll be needing. That is one of the most comprehensive insurances that we provide. And then the field trips that I show you, the list, those field trips and excursions will be also included in the program fee. That being said, you also have other, like, budget considerations, right? The other main one would be your home college tuition. Since you're taking 3 classes, that means you'll take a 15 credit load, or a full-time load, right? And at Green River College specifically, this is what it costs, but you'll have to check in your own campus if you know, what is the price in your campus for those 15 credits, because it varies by college. So again, if you don't know who your campus coordinator is, or you need, you know, to contact them, I believe Michi put it in the chat, that the WIXA coordinators list, so you can reach out and you know, plan ahead, I guess. So those are the two main, you know, budget considerations that you need to take care of: your classes and the program fee. And then based from what we've seen with past students, there are like additional costs that you may need to budget. So one would be food. That's like the main one, right? That one is bearable because it sort of depends on you. We have some students that you know, they prefer to cook to save some costs, and you have everything in your apartment to do so you can do that. And we have other students that, you know, they go and take care of their meals by going out every single day, right? So that can add up, right? So it kind of depends on you. But as I mentioned, the US dollar goes a long way, and the exchange rate is very favorable for you, so you can have, you know, fantastic meals in a fraction of the price. Um, and then your local transportation, your personal travel, things that are not included in the program fee, you'll need to budget. In terms of books, we don't generally have like costs associated to related to books, because everything is going to be likely in Canvas, right? So so yeah, that's close to zero, I would say. But like I said, this is sort of like estimated additional costs that depend on you, and it can be from 2,500 to 5,000. Kind of depends on what you want to do. If you want to, we have students that bring tons of souvenirs and buy many different things, so it can add up. So, but like I said, the main one would be your program fee, your home college tuition, and then the rest is sort of like variable. So you're looking at an investment of like 13 to 14, $5,000, right? So yeah, it would be a good idea that you meet your campus coordinator, because each of your campus has many opportunities for you to potentially fund this trip, right? I know if you're a financial aid student, you'll have like, your classes covered depending on how much you have of your tuition covered. And then if you have anything extra, you may use it for your program fee. And also each campus promotes different scholarships at the college level, at the Washington State level, at the national level. Then your campus coordinator can help you figure out those opportunities, so you can help you fund the trip. I know there is a big one that is coming up, the deadline. It's the Gilman scholarships. That's one of the most popular national level scholarships for study abroad. And your study abroad coordinator can talk to you all about it. But the deadline is coming up. It's March 5th. So if you're thinking of applying to scholarships, go meet with your campus coordinator right away. Okay, that's my advice. All right. All right. So timeline. So key dates. So tomorrow, today is February 12th. Tomorrow we're gonna open applications in the website. And so FYI, tomorrow's are gonna be open. Application deadline. So the very last possible time that you'll be able to apply is May 29. But as we have established it, like this Japan program tends to be very popular. So you really want to apply as early as you can, because there is an actual cap for this program, and it's 21 students. As soon as we fill out those 21 students, we secure those spots. It'll be really difficult to accommodate. You'll be placed in a wait list. And sometimes we have students that they drop their applications for several reasons. So you'll be, considered if depending on your spot on the wait list. So again, my main advice is to apply as early as you can. As I mentioned, tomorrow we'll be opening applications. Typically, when you apply, you have to pay soon after, and you get accepted soon after. You need to pay a program fee. It's a 450 program fee. And then June 18 will be the deadline to complete your $8,000 payment, right? So there you go. Typically within the 2 months before of departure, we hold a pre-departure orientation, which is in person at the Green River College in campus. And it will say, I think this year is TBD right now, but it's likely going to be early August. So, and it's going to be on a Saturday, right? And that session will definitely prepare you for everything you need to do and face in Miyazaki and in Japan in general. All right, and also a couple other dates. September 9th for the full quarter, like the tuition is due. This is through for Greenwood College, but again, you'll need to consult your own timeline or your own campus coordinators to see when you need to pay the 15 credits that you'll be taking in Japan. And then, as you know, September 24th to December 3rd, sorry, this is a mistake right here. September 24th to December 3rd will be the program dates. All right. I have a couple more slides. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can. All right, so the application process. So there's some eligibility requirements. All student types are welcome to apply. That meaning, if you're a domestic student, international student, Pell Grant eligible, financial aid, everyone is able to apply and can apply, but as long as they meet this eligibility requirements. One, they must be at least 17 years old by the time of departure. So if you turn 17 right before the travel, which is likely going to be in September 22, you're good to go. Okay. At the time you apply, you need to at least have completed 12 college credits. Completed means meaning taken, right? In past quarters. And then 2.5 cumulative GPA or better is one of the requirements as well, right? And then last but not least, to have a passport that is not going to expire anytime soon, right? So if you have everything that you see right here, you are eligible to apply. And then what does the application process look like? The application instructions, my colleague just put it in the chat, so you have like a more thorough idea what you need. But yeah, it starts with an online preliminary application form that you do through a form system. It's called JotForm, and yeah, you have to fill out details about yourself, about your family, emergency contacts, and whatnot. That application form is going to ask you to upload 2 documents. The first one is going to be an unofficial transcript, right? An unofficial transcript is how we check that you comply with that requirement of the GPA, right? So if you don't know how to get one, you can log into your CDC link and download it through there. So it's that easy. So you can just download it and that's it. In addition, you need to provide 2 references. So in the application form, there is a space that is going to ask you a name, an email, a relationship to you of a person that is going to be your reference. And we require 2 references. One must be a faculty member, so a professor or a past professor, right? And then the other one can be another professor, or it can be like a boss, a mentor, someone like that, right? But the only references that we do not accept are friends and family. So just FYI. And then the second document that you need to upload is like a really short essay that is only 700 to 1,000 words. And the questions that we ask in that essay are related to what's in it for you, right? What you expect to gain academically or personally or culturally, right? And then if there are any challenges for you by going abroad. Again, the application instructions are in the chat, so they're more detailed, but this is like the general application process. Once you submit that application with with those attachments and the references, you'll get called for an interview with your campus coordinator, and typically in that interview you'll get your acceptance, right? And then once you get accepted to the program, you'll likely be referred to me to get to complete additional enrollment forms and pay your deposit. And then that's it. You'll be in Japan. That's like the process in a nutshell, I guess. You can scan that QR code as well if it is easier for you, or like I said, in the chat, there are the application instructions. All right, so we are almost done, but I just wanted to share this. We had one student a couple years ago that went to this program and he was a blogger. So he created this, Hunter of Japan. That's the name of his blog or his channel. And he did, weekly blogs of his experience in Miyazaki and Tokyo and Osaka. So if you're interested to have that, to know about that student experience, like you're welcome to check his channel right here in the QR code or just by typing, Hunter of Japan, you will likely find it. All right. So I know we have a little less than 10 minutes for questions. So yeah, thank you for participating in this.
Andres, some questions in the chat.
Yep.
And some of them were answered by Caroline. Thank you.
Okay.
And one of the questions that is not answered is, how soon would we know we've secured a spot after sending our application?
So it depends. Because when you send your application, your campus coordinator needs to check everything, right? And one of the things that takes a little bit longer, it's the references, right? So the references, so if you want to have like a really, quick applications, you better tell your references that, they, as soon as you hit send in your application, they should have received an email with a form requesting the reference. It's super easy. It's not a letter of recommendation. It's just like a prompt survey and they can complete it really quick. So after, I don't know, they submit those two references and your campus coordinator checks them, they will invite you for an interview, which happens almost immediately, like potentially like a week away, the latest. And then that's when in the interview whether you get accepted or not. But to secure your spot, it's like when you pay that 450 deposit, that's when you secure your spot. But the fastest we've seen is, I don't know, a couple weeks, I guess, for the whole process to be completed. I will say that's like the fastest. I don't know if I answered your question, but that's typically what we see.
Okay. Another question that came in is, at what point do we learn if we've been accepted for scholarship for this program? Is it expected to be before we need to pay for the program?
Yes, it's before you need to pay, and typically it's at the interview, like right after you finish the interview, that's when you know whether you get accepted.
Okay, the others are answered. So if you can see the chat, then there's an answer. And one
Yeah.
student is raising hand.
Maria, if you want to mute yourself.
Yeah, it was kind of just clarifying what you said about the references, about the two references. So you said you submit the application and then whoever you put as a reference, they get a form sent to them after you submit the application.
Yes, it's automated, so
Okay.
it's immediate. So as soon as you click submit, they get the survey. So you may want to plan ahead with those references to tell them like, hey, I'm going to put in you as a reference. They're going to send you an email, and it's really easy, so they know in advance. And sometimes I will say, this is an automated system from an application or an app that is called JotForm. And those emails sometimes get sent to junk, right? So you may want to warn them about that, in case they're not seeing the email right away. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my God. Andres?
Yes.
There's a student, Victor. We're chatting right now, and they're asking about the GPA if we have a hard line. I always tell students he's currently sitting at 2.45, and then obviously quarter grades are not in yet. So I had a student that was this close to our 2.5 cutoff, which is a hard line, but he was able to show me his like GPA went up to 2.5 or passed actually, and I finally approved him. I gave him kind of like a you partially approved, but you have to
Yeah.
prove that you can bring your grade up, and if you can show that to us when your quarter grade comes in, which is after obviously the application opens, then yes. But keep in mind you might have to pay the deposit and will not maybe possibly get. But I don't know the timeline of the Japan program on that.
Yeah. For those cases that are really, really close, we work with our students similarly as you mentioned. Kind of like work with their current professors to get an idea of if their grades have been improved by the time of departure, right? And then seconds, what I typically do is also I request an additional reference for those cases that are very close. And then what was the other question related to timeline? I'm not seeing it, but hopefully that that helped.
Carter, I think Carter had a question. Go
Okay,
ahead, Carter.
Carter.
Hi, nice to see you again. I had a quick question. Do you happen to have like a website for the college? Does it list like all the clubs they offer there? Because I really love to get involved with the community,
Ooh.
so I'd like to see what they have to offer.
There is a website. It's all in Japanese, but let me just find it and I can send it to you. I've seen clubs in there. Um, but also in one of those presentation, I'm not sure if it is, I think it is during orientation or the very first few days that you're over there. Actually, there is a presentation about the different clubs that are available, and the students, the presidents of those clubs, actually they do a presentation for you and try to encourage you to join them. But yeah, I've seen karate, I've seen arts, I've seen many different others that I cannot remember at this point, but but yeah, let me grab you that website, and then
Andres, I
if
just
you don't
sent
find,
the link.
oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah, in
awesome.
the chat. And they have quite a few club
Oh,
activities.
there you go. That's what I wanted
Yes,
to see. Yeah, thank you,
club
Michi.
activities, and in Japan, there's a typical group called circles. So circles are not like clubs, more laugh groups, and they have lots of different circles too.
I see a question regarding to insurance. I'm not sure if it is the international students is not the same as your typical insurance here, that the vision or dental. But I can tell you that the insurance that we have is called INEX. It's called comprehensive insurance, and it has a couple add-ons as well related to liability, related to mental health, and many other coverages. Dental and vision, that's typical of our current insurance here in Washington or in the States, but it's not for an international perspective or international insurance. But I'm happy if if you want to send me an email. I have a list of all the coverages so you see what you're getting. And also in Japan, it's not like here. It's very different in regards of like medicine and access to it, and also the cost of it. So um, it's very accessible, I will say, for everything that you need to take care of. All right. Prescriptions, Victor, that's a really good question. Japan is very particular about your prescriptions since you'll be more than 1 month in Japan. If you have particular prescriptions, you have to fill out a form that is called, and I'm gonna butcher this, I'm sorry, is Jakan Shame or something like that. And that's basically it's you list your prescriptions or medicine that you take, and then the amount that you'll be taking with you. There are some prescription medications that are forbidden for Japan, and they're typically the ones that there are a couple that are forbidden that are treat a specific what was it, ADHD, um and yeah, sort of like those medicines. I think Vyvanse, if like that's one of the ones that they do not accept. So if that's one, like we do in pre-departure orientation and during the application process, I can give you more information about that specific requirements. But if that's the case for someone, you'll need to work with your doctor for alternatives because there are medicines that are absolutely forbidden. So no matter forms or doctor's notes you have in the US, they will not allow you to bring them. So thank you for that question. That's a really good one. I see. Do locals generally know some English? Yes, yes. Like I said, we have that buddy program where our locals they speak to you in English and then they help you navigate life. If you need to go to a grocery store or you need to go to different places, they can help you with that. And then yeah, locals they know some English, so yeah, you'll feel supported. And then Todd obviously will be with you as well. So if you need anything, you can also reach out to him. And I want to be conscious of our time. I know we already went past 4, so I'm not sure if I missed any other questions or if we have last minute ones. I think we're going to close this session at 4 or 5. Yes, there is one, and I can look for it right now. Medications. All right. So, okay. In this one right here, you'll see what I mean about prescriptions, about yeah, and then some of the ingredients that are forbidden of those medicines. And also there's the application for importing those prescriptions as well in that link. But anyways, you'll have plenty of time to look through this stuff because again, your campus coordinator is there for you, or you can just send me an email directly and we can help you throughout that process. And then all this information about like medicines, about logistics, about everything we covered during pre-departure orientation as well. So rest assured you'll have the information before you travel. All right, so I'm gonna stop the recording right now. If I can find the button. Okay.